Is Jon Favreau the savior of Star Wars? Let's find out. So let's take a look at the article from Disney Star Wars is Dumb, and that is this is from Itchy Baka, and basically, if you know what's going on in Star Wars today, there's rumors and all this about the direction Star Wars is going and where the company wants to go with it, and now we have Jon Favreau, who is attempting to reverse the course of Star Wars. And so let's take a dive into what he has to say and what Itchy Baka reported here in Disney Star Wars is Dumb, Jon Favreau's attempt to reverse course. Jon Favreau attempts to reverse course. Pirates and Princesses is reporting, so that's where the article is from, or this information comes from, on a story from Deadline in which Jon Favreau made the following comments. So let's take a deeper look. We want to really wind it back to the things that inspired the original Star Wars and really get it small in scale and tell simple stories. Because part of what you inherit when you're going to see Star Wars now is this whole history, because the stories have been told for decades, and it was nice, which the new medium to be able to start with a new set of characters to introduce to a new audience. But we always knew, and this is something I learned from over at Marvel and working with Kevin Feige, is you always want to keep the core fans in mind, because they have been the ones that have been keeping the torch lit many years. But these are also stories for young people and for new audiences. These are myths, and so you always want to have an outstretched hand to people who might not have that background. And so you're really telling two stories at once. You're telling the story for the people who are fresh eyes, and you're telling the stories for the people who've been there with the property and with the stories and the characters for so many years, and make sure that you're honoring them as well. So there's Jon Favreau's quote from Pirates and Princesses, and so basically he's trying to explain that they still need to be able to cater to, or appease the established audience or the established fans, because they're the long-term fans we are, that has kept the company going for years. And I will say, yes, we have. And through the novels, through the games, through the comics, everything between movies, and even before the buyout, us established fans who got further into the lore helped create such a great franchise, to where even the EU made millions of dollars for Star Wars before the buyout. So when Disney decided to make the EU no longer canon, that really began to alienate us fans that have been here for the long haul. And even those that came in through the birth or the beginning of the prequel trilogy, they are more or less Anakin Skywalker fans. They still got into the lore and got into the Clone Wars and all that came after, or during that time frame. So he is saying, keep the original fans satisfied while bringing in new fans. And I think George Lucas did that perfectly. And how he did that perfectly was through the mythos. And the mythos are timeless. And that's why you see the 6 original movies are pretty much timeless, and they go coherently with each other, building on top of each other. When George created the PT, he did not rehash any of the OT. He continued the story, not like what we see with the sequel trilogy or the ST or DT or Disney trilogy, which I like to call it, where they rehash the story. And one thing that I've seen people explain, well, it's like George did. He made everything rhyme. He made things rhyme by mirroring some little aspects, but he did not copy the OT into the PT. He linked like the Skywalker bloodline together with certain little events. However, Anakin was not a copy of Luke. Luke did not turn to the dark side. He's the catalyst for Anakin's redemption that basically brought balance, or the end of the Sith. So let's go ahead and read the rest of this article. Compare and contrast that with statements made by High Republic author Cavan Scott, who lectured the core fans about respecting the new fans who make entitled demands. So here we go. So he says about respecting new fans who make entitled demands. New fans who make entitled demands. And I think that's what we're seeing nowadays, is that the newer generations have entitlement, where they think that everything should be given to them and they don't have to earn anything. However, I am going to go ahead and digress from that, and let's go from here on out. For representation and other such nonsense. New fans, and this is Cavan Scott, who is one of the authors. New fans joining a fandom are a good thing. It means that your community is growing. Yes, that often means it changes a bit, but change is just a part of life. And I agree, change is a part of life, but changes are not all good. Embrace it, make new friends, experience new viewpoints, enjoy people falling in love, the things you already love. All right, so there we go. And so let's take a look and continuing of his statement here. Yes, respect is important and also a two-way street. In my view, no one should tell someone to leave a fandom they love. And by the same token, no one should tell a newer fan that they aren't important because they weren't around from the beginning. It is important for everyone to understand that, like all things, stories change and adapt and evolve. Tribalism within fandom in all its form is damaging and largely unnecessary. Not everyone is the same, and yet they come together because of their love of the same thing. That's the magic of it. We have Scott Cavan, an author of the High Republic, that's supposed to be coming out whenever. They keep changing the dates, but his point is that there shouldn't be tribalism or anything like that, and that he wants to cater to the newer fans also. The thing is that we are seeing the divide, because from the beginning we had Disney associates basically go against and mock the established fans, and that is what create a division. And then we've seen the movies really rip apart the 6 original movies, especially The Last Jedi, and Rian Johnson saying that he wants a split fandom because he wants people, like half people hate, half people like the movie. So there you go. You're seeing that one of the directors, one of the creators of the movies wants a split fandom, which basically is what Cavan Scott said, creating tribalism. And the thing is that, like I said earlier, is that the mythos are timeless, which means it caters to all generations. So when we look at the mythos from the past, they can be used in the present because of the structure. Even the hero's journey, because of its structure, can be used today in a modern aspect. And that's what George did with Luke Skywalker's arc in the OT, is that he took the hero's journey and he used it for Luke's arc, which made it timeless, and he adhered some like inspirations from past wars and stuff like that to create the empire, create conflicts and stuff, and even Greek tragedy for Anakin Skywalker. And that again creates a story that's timeless that we can all relate to. And relating to characters is not because of gender, not because of sex, it's because of their story arc and how we can see ourselves within that story. And again, I have stated this before, and I'll keep on saying this, is that I always, could relate to Luke Skywalker, not because he's white, because I'm not white, not because he is male, because I'm not male either. It's because of his story, because of his arc, because of all the trials and tribulations that he went through, because he, seen defeat and he overcame them. And I think that's what's very, very important. I think that's what Disney, Lucasfilm, and their associates, their authors, whoever they're bringing in to work on, do new stories and stuff, is missing, is that they think because the person isn't from a certain gender or a certain race, that myself or other fans of different ethnicities, races can't relate, and that is just, you know, absurd. You really make us look stupid, like we're self-centered if we can't relate to anybody that doesn't look like us, and that is offensive to me. Getting a flat tire is a change too. Yes, it is, but that's an unwelcome change. So not all change is de facto good. Rendering all platitudes about accepting change entirely worthless. Sometimes the new viewpoints are simply garbage, which is why so many of the core fans have walked away. That's what's really important to understand. Or how about the comments from the official Star Wars artists for Topps, who felt that the new fans were the most passionate, have been a passionate fan for about 5 nanoseconds. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this is Jordan Mason, Topps here. Real talk. I've never understood the mentality that how much you know about a subject is equal to your love and passion for it. I mean, I have a deep knowledge for some horrifying shit in my job, but I damn sure don't enjoy it. Hashtag Star Wars. Couple that with the idea that kids can't have the same enthusiasm for something because they don't have the same encyclopedic knowledge as older fans. That's just fucking dumb. I think I was most passionate about hashtag Star Wars when I was a kid and discovering it for the first time. And then he goes on to say, I would argue that the newest generation of Star Wars, hashtag Star Wars basically, fans are the most passionate of all. Burdened with the minutiae of lore, they get to experience everything fresh with the unbridled joy that only comes from the hashtag, or the quotation, ignorance. That ignorance. It's all new for them, and there's a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and go on, and I will dissect that for you guys. Clearly, there is a different mindset among the bottom feeders at Lucasfilm, thanks to Clownfish TV. And so he leaves the article or the review on Clownfish TV. So go ahead and take a look at that as well. First of all, does any of them from Disney Lucasfilm, whether they are licensing Topps or bringing in the authors, directors, creators within their platform, within the franchise, do they understand that new fans can even see the old stuff in such a great, fascinating way? Discovering the old stuff is just as fascinating as discovering the new stuff, and that's what they're missing, is discovering the golden part of Star Wars, the classical Star Wars, the stories that they threw out. They are saying basically that the old is not worth it and that the new fans can't relate to it. Yes, they can, because whenever you get into a new franchise or a new story, no matter if it's written way before the person was born or in the current time frame or the current year that this person is seeing, reading it or watching it or whatever, so brand spanking new is basically what I'm saying. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to get into it. They're going to see it as brand new with their eyes, and they are failing to see that. They're failing to see that there is greatness in the lore that came before, and that a new person, a child, an adult, a teenager, whatever their age is, will discover and see it with their eyes as brand new and fascinating and something worthwhile. And so that's what they're clearly failing to see right here. So thank you for watching, and I would like to know what you think about this and if you agree. Now, is Favreau, is he, reversing the course? Does it sound like he wants both old and new fans to enjoy the new lore, catering to both, or giving both Star Wars in a new sense so that they can discover Star Wars in a new way? Are they, through Jon Favreau, are we going to see some Legends come in? Are we going to see him work on Legends project? I don't know. But the thing is that so a lot of the damage has been done already, and reversing the course, is it going to help? I don't know. We don't know until we start seeing it. Is Legends going to return? We don't know. Are any of the stories that are going to come out through Jon Favreau, is it going to be worthwhile? Is it going to be worthwhile? Is it going to the movies? I don't know. So we're up in this what ifs right now. And with the current rumors that we've seen with Doomcock and, others about possibly the sequel trilogy, either being erased from their canon or being ignored, we don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that I love George Lucas era Star Wars. I love the 6 movies, I love the EU, and I love the comics, the games, all that came, and that's where the heart is. And my heart is where the heart is within Star Wars. So I take all this with a grain of salt. I am happy that Jon Favreau still wants to keep old and new fans enriched with the Star Wars lore, keeping it back to the heart of Star Wars, which is the mythos. So only time will tell. So thank you again for watching. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think with everything I said and everything that was said in this article, including Jon Favreau's comments about sticking to the mythos while developing new Star Wars. So I'm excited to see what happens and develops. What do you guys think? Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.